Thanks for selecting my video. What this video is about, it's to do with the old, or what's left of the rock bar. It's basically, I've catalogued as much as I can of the demolition. So behind me once stood the rock bar. I think it was built at the same time as Minas Hill housing scheme was built, which was in the mid 1960s, something like that. Well, I've lived here since 1980, and that was a very common sight for me as I was growing up. But now that this has changed forever, you know, that's it, it's gone. So for those that don't know where it is, Minas Hill, well, that's on the west side of Dundee, city of Dundee, and the rock bar is one of 4 bars that used to be in Minas Hill. You had the rock bar, you had the Jimmy Shand, which was further along Dixon Avenue, then you had the Charlie bar and the Bayview. So now the Jimmy Shand's been demolished and the rock bar has just been demolished. So you've only got 2 pubs left, the Charlie bar and the Bayview, which is down by the near Nine Wells Hospital. So, but this video, as I say, it's just about the demolition using this big mechanical digger, the excavator that was used for pulling the building down. And I only got maybe about half, maybe a third of the. I didn't get it from the start, unfortunately, due to my shifts. So I was just only able to film it as much as I can when I was off, on the days off and before my shifts. So yeah, once upon a time that was the rock bar. So it'll be sad for a lot of people that would have been their local bar probably since it was built. Like lots of people were, that was their local for a very long time. It wasn't a big bar, it wasn't a very big building. It stretched really from the length of the pub. Probably about the length of the car park. It was something like 70 metres long or something. It wasn't a massive building, but so I hope you find it, well, I'll be sad obviously seeing it getting demolished, but exciting if you like watching the big machine at work, because that thing didn't take any prisoners, that thing, that just got straight on with it, I ripped it down. I mean, I like watching the big machinery and that. If you like watching machinery, then this video will be, well, it's the best I've done for you anyway. It lasts about an hour and a half. Various footage, it sort of like highlighted the bits that I thought was most exciting. So yeah, so just a quick recap. So if you've tuned into my channel and you're watching this, it's about the demolition for the rock bar that once stood behind me. And the footage, the films, the video that I took was on using this camera, standing just in this area here. So hope you enjoy it, and thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching. Cheers. Oh, you did. So what they do is they separate the materials into different parts. You've got the metal, you've got the wood piles. I hope you can hear this, but they separate the materials out, separate parts. So I've done this part around, you can see the action. Just giving the lens a clean. It's an awful lot of dust obviously, so yeah, they've got to take the things piece by piece, put the wood in certain piles, and they've got the metal in certain piles. Earlier on I had to check because there's a gas main pipe, but just making sure it was isolated before they went any deeper. The water mains and everything. Yeah. Hello all, just at the rock bar. I was here yesterday. I was watching the demolition. I've got the video footage of the big excavator, Safe Thames excavator. I got all that yesterday. I got as far as this stage. But the problem was, the start of the demolition, I missed all this. It didn't take them long to get from there's not much in the pub anyway, but there wasn't much to start with. It wasn't a big building, so they got probably about 2/3 of it done before I got here yesterday. And I came here with the camera and I got some of this demolition there for you. But the problem was that they had to stop for a couple of reasons. We're digging, you can see that hole there? That, okay. and then pointing and try to get it to line up. But it's hopeless. I can't really see what. Yeah, there, about there. That it was basically. There was like gas pipes and stuff there, water pipes. So they had to be careful to make sure that the stuff was isolated before they continued to dig down or break, because it's like a basement. And some people didn't. I certainly didn't know there was a basement. I mean, I drank in there in 2000. I wasn't in there in the year 2000, just for a couple of occasions, 2 or 3 occasions, just to see what it was like. But I mean, I've lived in Minnesota, say, for 40 years, from 1980, and I remember seeing the rock bar. It was part of an everyday sight. So to see it getting demolished and disappearing like that, you will never ever see it. Once it's gone forever. It's part of the regular site for all these years. But I'll be sad for the people that drank there. Like I say, I was in there once, just a few times. I might have been there for if it was like club things, in the 80s, if it was something like where children were allowed in, if it was like for a function suite or something, I don't know. I could have been there because it was a long time, been years. But see, the problem now is when they get this machine going, they'll probably have all that down in no time, so I won't be able to get the video footage because I'll be at my work. So I came along here hoping that I would maybe see something happening with the machines, but I think being a Friday afternoon, Friday morning, it's about back 11 now, it might be half day for them. They might not be doing very much. And then working this weekend, so I was hoping to get some demolition footage today. It was good weather yesterday, it was bucketing down there, but yeah, I was hoping to get some demolition footage today for you, but I don't think that's going to be there come the next days off. So I'll just sort of summarise the video now. I'm going to put what I've recorded yesterday. It's just basically about the demolition of the rock bar in Meanishill. Obviously, Meanishill's, the Dundee's West housing scheme. The rock bar was, I think it was built in the 60s or something. There's a lot of people who owns it. Obviously, drunk there since it was built, kind of thing. It was the 60s, because Meanishill was built in the 60s. But like I say, I didn't move here until I was 5. Before that, I was in the other end of Dundee since I was born. I was 5 Finchley, and then I moved to Meanishill in 1980. So as I say, that was and I remember all the multi-stories and everything. I mean, Meanishill's transformed a lot. It's transformed a lot in within the last 10 years. But no, you know what I'm like. I mean, I like demolition. I would have been out here with the camera in the pissing rain and sorry for the language, but the bucket and rain. I would have been filming this for years. I've done it for the old Olympia Centre, the multis, Whitfield scarring blocks. I've been out in all weathers doing this. And I was prepared to do it again today. I start the shift at 1:20. I don't think that's going to be running. In fact, I'm going to ask the worker that somewhere. I don't think it is, but I'll just see what we're using something. I just asked the worker that operates the excavator if they were doing any work just now, but nah, they're not doing any demolition. So I'll probably just have to compile what I've got. I'm starting the machine up just to probably do whatever tidying up. But this rain is just getting ridiculous now. Man, I'm going to get out of here. Right, so I'll get the video up. Better watch this phone just in a shortly. Right, thanks for that's when you just guys on. If the canvas is working. Cameras are. Right, get on this up. I just come out of Spar there. The rain's went off a bit, but this seems to be a wee bit. Yeah, I'm going to try and just show you the what's left of the rock bar. I just got cut off earlier because it was bucketing me rain. I had to nip into the Spar there just to get my dinner. So turn this camera around and show you what's there, okay? Right, so that's the rain off a little bit, it's eased off a bit. It was absolutely bucketing down earlier. I was getting a bit concerned for the phone because the water was starting to when it gets into the microphone holes, charger holes, it could short it out. But yeah, as I was trying to say earlier on, this is the Friday late morning now. It's getting on for about 11:30. And what we're going to be doing now is using this tanker truck to fuel up the excavator for fill it up with fuel for Monday, I guess. I don't know if they work Saturdays or not, but this is probably all I'm going to be able to get because I've been working right the way through now for 7 days back to back, and there's no way that's going to be still there in that time. So this is as far as I'm going to get. But they say they started the demolition, but this pub used to run all the way up to about where that, and about there. It wasn't a big building, but I was unaware that it had a basement. I was trying to show you that earlier, but it was difficult with the camera pointing the other way. So the camera was on the selfie mode. It's difficult to line up the stuff that's behind us. So I've turned it round now, and I could show you. This down there is like a basement. And there's pipes, gas pipes they were concerned about earlier because they were getting the big mechanical excavator and battering through the floor. Obviously it revealed this basement, but they were going down and they realised there was like gas pipes or water or electric, but they were concerned of something to do with that. So they kind of stopped and they just temporarily put these bricks there so that they wouldn't go further down, damage it, disrupt it, and also for the tracks to support the machine, the excavator, to go along there, to support its weight, so it could use the big boom arm to stretch over to demolition to demolish the rest of this. But unfortunately, I got maybe about within the hour. I got video footage within an hour's worth, various points there, and I had to stop for the servicing for the excavator, so they didn't get any more demolition yesterday. And this is going to be it for me, I think, as far as demolition goes. That's going to be down well before I've finished the shifts. So that's the end of the era, end of the rock bar. This whole, I believe now, I just learned there that the spar shop that I went into, New Orleans Place, the spar shop that I went into, Orleans Place, that there now, all that's going to get demolished and they're going to move it to, well, not move it, but they're going to rebuild the shopping centre here where the rock bar is. So this is going to be making way for the new shopping centre. In fact, what I'll do is I'll maybe just show you a bit of video footage of the shopping centre as it is, so I can get a before and after. So I'll pause this. Alright, so this is the spar shop that I'm talking about, Orleans Place. It used to stretch all the way down to the bottom. The shops used to go all the way from the bottom right the way up at one time. This was the old entrance, before this went on fire back in May 2000. The entrance to the spar was there. That was but they didn't, all this is original, that didn't all get burned down. There was a severe fire, a lot of internal damage, but they refaced it, they put the entrance here. Because it took them about a year to get the thing, to get it back open up again. Yeah, it was 2001 it opened. But now it's earmarked for demolition, and all this shopping complex will be getting demolished and going into where the grounds of the old rock bar is. So this video, I'm just going to grab some footage before it gets demolished. I'll try and get the demolition of this as much as I can. I missed the community centre, unfortunately, that was demolished, but my working duties and that, shifts, it's not always easy to get that. So I'll round that up, I'll wrap this up now, and let's fare about with the rock bar. And like the Jimmy Shan, that's been demolished as well. I didn't get any footage of that, but that's just along the road, along Dixon Avenue. So there's only like a couple of pubs now in Minnesota. There's the Bayview, which is just down there, just up for 9 miles. Bayview, you get a view of the bay. And then Charleston Bar, or the Charlie Bar as it's known, which is along Charleston Drive, the shopping centre there. The shop's at the top of Arden Drive. The Charlie Bar's just right at the end of the shopping centre. Right, okay, I'm going to go now this time. Thank you for watching and listening. Thanks. Hello again. What I've done, the last time I was here it was a Friday morning, late morning, but there was nothing happening. So I've returned here on the Monday morning a wee bit earlier. I start my shift today at 1:20 so I'll get a wee bit of this demolition for you that's going on. I didn't think I would get that, but I'm trying to shout aloud because it's quite noisy with the machine. I'm just getting through the roof, sort out the wood piles. So I'll maybe get about an hour, within an hour. I'll stay here for an hour because obviously time constraints, and I'll try and get as much footage of this demolition as I can for you. If I was lucky. So I'll turn this camera around and you can see that. Okay. Yeah, so I've managed to get a wee bit more demolition, luckily. I just got up earlier this morning, this Monday, and obviously I don't think they've done any work yesterday on a Sunday or on that Saturday, so there's just this wee bit. I think what was done there was done this morning, like, and the work up to about 10:30, I think, so certainly got about an hour's worth. But they're just separating out the wood piles here. They're obviously you got all the different materials that make this building, make the construction that goes into this building. They've got like wires, pipes, metal for the foundations. Obviously your concrete and everything. So they just get them into separate piles, and they go into these different skips for recycling. This is the best bit, when they get the machine onto the building and they start tearing it down. That's the most exciting parts. The boring bits are just when they're sorting through the piles and all that. Fortunately this fence is here, but I'll try and avoid it as much as I can for you. You can still see the seats. Still got the burgundy seats and everything left. I don't think they really emptied this out when prior to demolition. Normally they got the building, you know, take all the window glass seats and everything out, but I think for time they just left all the stuff in situ. So some just breaking off the woodwork off the building, and just so he's ready to pull the seating though. You'll see the seats getting ripped out. See that big excavator there, this pub, this building's nothing for it. This building, but that excavator would have this building for breakfast, dinner and tea. It just makes mincemeat of it. Effortless, just rips it apart like it's made of balsa wood. Chews through that concrete like the way we chew through rock. Or the stick of rock, like chocolate. Not concrete though. Yeah, that thing's some machine that. I'm not sure what the horsepower is. It's PC. It's maybe have to be another video on. I love all that sort of stuff. And into that. I like knowing how they run and that, how they work, type engine and that. Yeah, I'll pause the boring bits. This is just taking the piles, putting them into the pile there to be sorted later to go in skips. I find the exciting parts is when he's ripping the building to there, so I'll pause that and then I'll restart it when he's ready to put machine to building. Yeah, it's just a bit of tidy up as well. Pause this just now. That's the machine punching through the floor to reveal the basement. So I think what he's doing is he's punching the hole in the floor to the basement and then knocking the walls down to fill in the hole. So that makes it clear, like a big pit for the bricks and that to fall into. So instead of just falling onto the floor level, he's punching through the floor level with the big machine, and that then reveals the basement, and all these bricks and that can just start filling up the basement with bricks. That's what the plan is there. Yeah, it's not just a case of getting the machine and demolishing it just any old way. It's done carefully and with precision. mean, I find that bit quite exciting. I like to see the machine just rip through the whole thing, you know, all the big bricks falling down, and that's great fun. But it's got to be done properly, though. That's the thing. So you've got to do it step by step. You know, I love to see it just, you know, it's like that with the multis. You had the big slabs of concrete falling 40 odd, you know, 50 foot off the ground, a big thump as it lands down. But no, it's all done carefully here, like it's all done through a plan. I feel the ground shake there a wee bit. No, it's a big wall, it just fell there. That's a good, all that distance away. I didn't stand it here, and this still felt the ground shaking. Great stuff. I've always been into this stuff since I was a kid, you know, I watch these big machines at work. And that's a ball where it come down now. Oh, nice. The only thing is when you're standing here is you get the dust and everything. That's the only downfall. Obviously it gets very dusty. But yeah, I'd love to have a shot of that thing, I'll tell you, that machine, it'd be great to get. Yeah, I like big machines and that, big vehicles, lorries, big trucks, big excavator. Guess that's why I drive buses for a living. No, I like knowing how they work and that, it's all that power. It's just hydraulics, all these hoses are full of hydraulic fluid. And that then uses the hydraulic torque modification to operate the jaws on the claw there. It's just multiplies the engine, the pump. Obviously, the engine turns the hydraulic pump, and then the pump then multiplies the torque through the ram arms. And then because it's a big long lever, it's all to do with leverage and hydraulics, and that's where you get. It's a very fast moving motor, but you get a very slow action at the end. But the power then is divided. You get the slow speed. All the energy and the speed is slowing down to develop strength, torque, and that's what gives the muscle at the end of the arm. It's just like gearing. You know, if you turn the gear fast at one side and it comes out slow at the other, you'll get lots of torque. It's just putting a concentrated energy into small movement, but a lot of energy behind it. Well, that's what hydraulics are, just a similar principle. That's just a very rudimentary description, by the way. But I just ask all these questions when I was a kid, how these things worked and that, and you know, all the. But there's lots of levers and a lot of skill involved in operating such a machine. But this is just them getting all the wood put into the wood piles, you know, separate it out. As I say, it's not like a case of just coming along with a big machine and just rip it all down, you know, that'd be great fun to watch, but it's got to be done methodically. Separate the materials out for recycling, etc. It makes it easier for them to get a lorry load of wood, which is in these skips. You got metal, wood, and various other materials. Yeah, well, it's all done carefully and methodically. I'll pause this a minute and yeah, it's just another thing I was going to say about the floor. The reason that he's getting the big crane arm punching through the floor is because to get nearer that wall, that machine won't, that floor won't take the weight of that machine. That's probably about 80 tons. So that'll just go right through, it'll just fall through. So he's got to punch the floor down with the big arm, punch it down, and then fill it in with bricks so that he could get something to support the weight while he moves along there. See, it's all carefully thought out. I mean, if he just went mad with it, if he just got in there and just demolished it like any old way, it would end up being a disaster, because for one, it would just fall through the floor, it could tip over and all that. It's got to be done carefully. I mean, you've got gas pipes and all the remaining other things to watch out for. So yeah, it takes a wee while, even though there isn't very much left. You might think, well, I was going to just bulldoze it down, just get on with it right there and then, but no, it's got to be done carefully for these reasons. So that's why it's sort of, it's frustrating that I'd want to see this getting bulldozed quickly as possible. I want to see it on this get it on camera, but it takes time, so I'll pause it and I'll put it back on when it gets nearer that bit. You see it just punching through the floor there, just like it's made out of cardboard. This big machine makes mincemeat of it. That just sort of shows how powerful it is. You can see now what I mean by he's got to fill that big, the basement up, otherwise that'll just fall forward. So he's got to, here we go, some building demolition. So the bricks now will be put. That's got a window for the, goes to the wood pile. The glass will just be fragmented into bits. I'll just get swept up later on. So all the polystyrene, the insulation, cavity wall insulation. So that's, I'm sweeping the bricks into the basement there to give this support. I think all the time it took to build that, months and all the years it stood, and just takes minutes to rip it down. Okay, it's kind of a surreal feeling when you've seen something like for so many years. Suddenly it's disappearing. There's it punching through the floor now, you see that? It's a bit of... yeah, it slowly disappears in front of your own eyes. It's quite a surreal feeling. It's like it's just really happening. Is it a dream, It takes a bit of time for it to sink in. I mean, it's changed forever now. So it's always gone through a lot of that. Multi-stories, schools, community centre, pubs, Jimmy Shand. Well, this is I didn't get any footage of the Jimmy Shand or the community centre, but there's also some other flats along Glams Road that were demolished as well, built for new houses. Oh, look at all that power, eh? That's no messing with that machine. Punches right through that. That's brilliant. reinforced concrete. It's just punching through it like it's made out of cardboard. It just shows you how strong these machines are. So you've got the big horsepower engine, and it's multiplied by the hydraulic principle. So you get a fast moving engine rotating at RPM, and that energy is transferred into hydraulic torque through the hydraulic principle. So you get a slow movement at the cutting edge or at the end, but it's very, very powerful. I'm certainly not a teacher. That's just a very basic. That's a very basic. But I've always wondered how these things work ever since I was a kid. So it's been very fascinating there. A lot goes into these machines. Watch this steel beam getting lifted up. I'll get lifted up as if it was a twig. Right. It's a big structural beam. It's just lifting it up like it's effortlessness. Look at that. That's supporting the weight of the building. That's been there for all these years. Solid iron girder. And it's just a way to lift it like it's a toothpick. He's maybe just not. It's got the strength to do it, but he's maybe planning on. So he's got to plan out what he's doing, because he doesn't want to take things apart unless it's done. So you can see the angle it's going at now. He's got to watch that keeps it at the right level, because there is a level gauge inside there. I think it's like a spirit level. I'm going to get a picture of the other side actually. Well, what I'll do is I'll try and run round here before I get a view from this side, look. I was wanting to get the view of the wall from the other side there as it was getting ripped apart. I'm missing all back around here now. I'll try and get around the back there next time I see it, go in there and get the view from the other side. He's got to sort through all the wood first, get them into the wood pile up there. Right, so I'm going to try and catch this back wall coming down from this angle. So I'm just waiting on the machine getting ready. Yeah, I think he's... I think he's going for it this time. No, not yet. So he's just carefully dissecting the wood from the structure, just piece by piece rather than just rip the whole thing down. It's got to be taken apart by bits, put into the appropriate material piles. So all the door frames and the doors and the roof, there's a lot of wood there. So that there will form the ramp now for the machine to support itself on while it gets closer to this end. Just bends it like it's made out of toffee. That's a big solid iron beam that is just effortlessly bent. Maybe I'll get the back wall this time. Oh, nice. No. Still on the roof here. I don't think he done the wall earlier because there was still a wee bit to go here. I wouldn't have reached the support. These are the best bits, isn't they? When you see everything like that coming down in the winter. It gets a bit boring watching the smaller sections. This is the better ones. That's more like it, eh? Oh, hey. It's more dramatic when you see it like that, eh? Oh, big bits of concrete. I wanted to see when they were doing the multis. I had to do multi-stories in Minisaw mechanically because they couldn't blow it down due to being the close proximity of the hospital. The explosive that they would usually use for demolishing a multi would be not a good idea. So they used a big mechanical arm, and by goodness, even the big slabs of concrete fell from the height of the multi. God, the whole ground shooting on, great fun. It was sad at the same time because these multis were, I'd seen them for many years, obviously. Just seeing it disappear like that, eh? It's like this as well. A bit like me, you are screaming out saying, just push that wall down, get it over me, I see it fall. But the thing is though, he's got to do it methodically. There's a big door here, he's got to, see, like I said earlier, you can't just bulldoze it down the way, it's got to be done properly. That's some size when you see it, when you're up close to these things. It's pretty see how big it is. It's massive. So that's them just filling in the gap, the basement for that to give it a ramp to get nearer the edge here. See, that gives you a scale of just how big it is, and it's nearly the height of the building. You could probably swallow that in one bite. like it's dusty here though. That's the thing. It does get dusty. Very dusty. That was the hinges of that door making its very last squeak. It'll never squeak again. I'm gonna have to shower when I get in. There's what a dust here is. It's a fine powder dust. I start my shift at 1:20, so I've got to keep a watch on my time. But as usual, you know, you don't want to leave. So I say, well, I could do it in this time. I'll rush. I'll just get back. I'll rush, get my sandwiches done, grab something to eat, and I'll get done on time. I always do. I'll just be eating my sandwiches, walking up to my starting point. It won't be a time to sit down and eat it. No, just. I don't want to miss this, do I? So. Just be in the house, quickly get changed, ready for my shift. It's always when it's nearly time to go, that's when the best bits start happening. There's the other bit of the wall getting pulled down with the brush. It's just very obviously, very loosely. Just keep me watching the bars of the battery on this as well. So. So what I'll start doing is I'll just start highlighting the bits where the most action is to save battery on this camcorder, keeping a watch on the battery level. It just gives you a scale of how big it is. I mean, the guy's next to it, and that's where it closed. That's the grab arm shut. I think how big in comparison. So when it's open, it could probably have been the height of that building anyway. It's massive. You see the pipes under there as well. It's the drain pipes. There'll be like a leveler gauge inside the machine to tell him when it's how far he could go. If it tips too much, it'll come up with warning on his the gauge. You can see the thing sort of leaning forward quite a bit because he's got to stretch his big arm right across, and then when he gets there, he's got to apply the force to pull the wall down. So it's all skillful work. But there's a lot of structure still left below the ground level. There's walls along the back there. There's all the sub structure. This is just all the walls that you would see on the outside level. But there's a lot more. Well, there's like the basement divider walls and that. All that's still there. But on the surface of it, that's pretty much it. Apart from that corner wall and. I'm surprised they got as much as they did because I decided to come along this Monday before my shift, and just so happened to get this for you. But I think I might have to start making a move. But I got quite a bit there for you, a bit of action and that, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it anyway. You see the stretch it's got to go to reach that wall. You see it's at probably near its limits, but it's made it. You see the thing sort of listing forward. It's the last wall. Well, no, it's the last on the surface wall anyway, because there's still walls in the basement that need to be more or less as foundation levels. But this will be the last bit for me. Oh, that's about it for me anyway. I managed to get quite a lot. If you maybe come back later on and get some still photos, but I've got, yeah, I must say I've got a fair bit more than I thought I was going to get today. Yeah, that was really good. Very exciting that. Right, I'm going to have to go to my work. Okay, that'll do for now. Right, I really must go now. But yeah, just to quickly point out, that's the horizon completely changed forever. It's a shame, that's a shame. I remember seeing that for all these decades I've lived here. But that's on the surface of it. Gone. There's still a lot of work to go down at the sub-level with the basement and that. There's still lots of divider walls, and they've got to clear up all the piles to get it recycled. You've got the wood piles, metal, bricks, wires, pipes, etc. But yeah, it's an end of an era. It's sad, but it's exciting as well, seeing all the demolition work. But I really have to go for my work. But I'll compile this into a video for you. I'll probably come back, get some more like pictures later on and stuff for you. Okay, right, bye now for now.